Everybody, what's up? It's LK, the God of the Fire Squad. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. One, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, just like me. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Gang. Hey, you know I've been recording this whole time.
Stop it.
This is good content.
This is great content.
Tonight.
All right. Also, we have a special guest back for the second time. She was with us on the coveted episode of Smoke and Fire, where we were talking about a lot of egregious stuff and giving our opinions on parenthood. Whitney.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was choking on chicken wings.
Oh. Oh man.
That's
the intro.
That's the intro. All right.
Oh.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a new episode of Channel Orange. I'm your host, LK the God Leading Mogul. I'm here with Puffco Poppy, second in command of Fire Squad. As you can see, what are we puffing on today? And sipping on today.
San Fernando Peel, Evermore. I never even lit it up the first time, but and then
I got something left over here. I don't even know the name of it. Let me take a dab right quick. We take dabs on this show because he is Puffco Poppy, and I'm the dab deity myself, you know, so yeah.
The doozy of a trade deadline we had here, man. It's a lot of hoops to talk about, man.
All right, so right off the rip, the first silo to go off was Kyrie to the Mavs, and that happened before the trade deadline.
Yeah, they were ready for that. Well, I watched the press conference. I saw everything that led up to it. Them niggas was fed up with Kyrie. Kyrie was trying to get the fuck out of there. They didn't want to send that nigga to the Lakers, so like they took a lesser deal.
A petty move.
Yeah, they sent that man to Dallas.
Hey, the funny thing is, they wouldn't even let me execute that trade on 2K. They was like, no, nigga, it's not even worth it. Like, what are you talking about? But it happened in real life. So what is...
Well, Kyrie's trade value has been greatly diminished by, like, it's not that teams don't want the walking bucket, maybe the best fucking ball handler of all time. Like, it's not that people don't want that. It's just that, is he going to be reliable? Are you going to be able to tell on that nigga? Yeah. Is he going to be on some Hotep shit and just be in his feelings and decide he wants to take a week off, on your team or some shit? Or is he going to, Kyrie has just been unpredictable. The anti-vax shit, the fucking whole anti-Semitism thing, even though I think that was a little unfair to him, the way they spun it. But basically in his press conference, what he was saying is he was fed up with the New York media. It exhausted him. He is one of those people, and they say that all the time, that cannot handle that New York City media ecosystem, because they're going to try to make a story out of everything. Even if it's illegitimate, they need a story. So they're going to talk about everything. And he's just like, I'm trying to hoop, trying to do this. Like, no, but whenever you do some weird Hotep shit, it's going to be front page news in Brooklyn. And like, that's just what it is. You're in Brooklyn. It's going to be questions. You're going to be at, and so it seems like it just wasn't a good fit there. And they sent him someplace like he could hoop. He hooping, like, he hasn't played with Luka yet, but so that's going to be iffy. But the Mavericks were very clear that he was there to be Luka's sidekick. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were very clear that you're there to support Luka. You're there. This is Luka's team. Mark Cuban had that wild ass comment where he was like, we have the best ball handler in the league in Luka, and now we have the second best in Kyrie. What are you talking about, bro? Like, I mean, Luka, I think, is better than Kyrie, but not ball handler. Like, nigga. But
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, but that is the thing, to be like, to him to be very clear. Like, Luka doesn't sign off on that unless it's still my team. Get Kyrie to help me, because Kyrie over Dinwiddie raises your ceiling a lot, and Dinwiddie's a good player.
He's not Kyrie though.
But he ain't Kyrie.
He ain't Kyrie. All right. Next, the biggest blockbuster trade, KD to the Suns. Holla if you hear me. The NBA is back. Just
Yeah, that's wild. Everybody was sleeping. That shit, wild shit was happening. We've heard whispers of this for about a week now, that the Suns were like super interested in KD and they're willing to put the chips on to make it happen.
And it also showed like it's possible for NBA players to do a silent, hey, I'm trying to get up out of here. Can we just,
Everyone kind of knew once Kyrie got traded, the writing's on the wall. It's like, KD ain't gonna want to stay there, bro. We know KD's MO is wanting to play with other stars. You think he want to stay there and play with Dinwiddie? You think he wants to go there and play with Cam Johnson and Dinwiddie? And, like, come on, man.
That's the best example of it. Like, Kyrie was like, I demand a trade. KD was like, I'm going to just leave it to my agent. Y'all figure this out behind the scenes, whatever. We ain't got to do the whole loud thing. Just get me up out of here. Send me where I want to go. Because they could have, it was a little petty, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, could you imagine if they sent this nigga to LA? They could have sent KD to LA with that trade package they got for him.
Nah, LA don't have the assets for that, man. Like, the key to that KD trade was Mikal Bridges, man. Bridges is the only thing that would have been a centerpiece to, like, I need a young two-way wing that's like a stud. And then you get Cam Johnson, who's like, not as good as Bridges, but like good piece, 26 years old, not super young, but not,
And can shoot like a motherfucker right now.
Yeah. And then, you're getting a lot of good pieces, but it's just like, what, 4 first-round picks, whatever it was for KD. Like, this is KD, but at the same time, his value is going to go down a little bit because everyone knows Brooklyn's trying to move off this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man don't want to stay there and play with fucking Spencer Dinwiddie all year.
Fuck no,
bro.
That should be the price tag for KD. I need 4 first-round picks. And give me some of your core. Give me your core.
A star young player, like in Bridges, I would call him a star, like a rising star, not a star yet, but like
he's going to get there.
Yeah, he has the potential to be a star, and he's that's a centerpiece. Like, I'll take Bridges. Like, it's a nice trade package, but it was almost like a desperate one, where it's like the Nets just were like, we're trying to move off these niggas now. It's over. The experiment failed. We're stuck with fucking Ben Simmons out of all these niggas now. Coming off the bench. He can't even start over Royce O'Neal. This man can't start over, you know what I'm saying? Like, this Ben Simmons shit is over, bro.
It's over with. It's
psychologically,
sad.
Whatever happened to him psychologically, he's over. He's done.
God bless him, but let's not waste no more time with the Nets. All right. Who's next? Who made a good deal? Hey,
the fucking Lakers, dog.
The Lakers.
The Lakers retooled their entire team somehow. All they had to do was give up one of those first round picks that they had. And
Russ.
Yeah, but they've been trying to trade Russ like since they got Russ. And they finally got that man off, and he's probably gonna get bought out of his Utah. Because Utah probably doesn't want, he'll choke one of the white fans in Utah, man. Russ don't want to be in Utah. Man, Russ don't want to be in no motherfucking Utah, bro.
No. And then they like, oh, he should go to the Clippers. I'm like, I'm hearing
the biggest rumblings have been the Clippers to reunite with Paul George. The Clippers got rid of Clippers hated all their point guards. They traded Kennard, they traded John Wall, and they fucking traded Reggie Jackson. They traded all of them niggas.
Reggie Jackson, I guess that was a contract dump. John Wall's just John Wall.
John Wall got traded to Houston after the viral clip of him being like, "How was your time in Houston?"
Oh, trash. I saw it.
And then they sent this man to Houston. I was like, I guess who's getting bought out immediately?
He said, man ain't putting no Rockets jersey on. He said, yeah, some nigga named Justin Patton started. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah, you naming names, bro.
This is still a person. Like, he should pull up on you for that. Like, bro, what's up? Like,
but at the same time, like, Houston was out there playing Garrison Matthews and shit like that. Like, they were down bad. Houston is probably the most gutter franchise we have right now. In terms of rebuilds, if I look across the entire league and the worst of worst basketball teams, the Spurs, they're fucking awful. But they still have this, like, somewhat competent player development thing going down there. Like, Keldon Johnson's good. Devin Vassell might be
Vassell's
something.
good. Yeah.
Malachi Branham is showing some shit. The
Trey
rookie
Jones.
from so it's just like there's still Popovich, there's still something down here. Like the Hornets are falling apart. They ain't got shit. They got LaMelo.
Let me ask you something. Does Jordan not care about this team?
He's just bad at running the team. So I mean, they need a GM too, but like I don't know, man. They got LaMelo. That's definitely a keeper piece. You want LaMelo, but the defensive effort of the Hornets is so pathetic sometimes. It's kind of wild.
Like I'm kind of ready for LaMelo to like have teammates now. I'm done with this team.
Terry Rozier being his best teammate, or Bridges wanted to do some wild shit off the court, so he had Bridges who was up and coming, but like Bridges fucked his own career up.
It's about time for him to start playing meaningful basketball.
He's not even anywhere close to that.
Even when they build games, like when they air, they air games on TNT and ESPN, they would have like a good team, like the Golden State and the Hornets. I'm like, come on, bro. The Hornets haven't been box office in a long time. Why are they getting televised?
Wait. Have they ever been box office? I've been alive since the Hornets have been a franchise, and I don't ever remember them being box office.
The Adam Morrison days. All right.
The Bobcats.
The Adam Morrison days. Yes. We got let me say Clippers got Bones Highland, which shocked me, but I'm excited about that.
Good pickup.
A young point guard.
Need a young point guard, yeah. I mean, like I said, the Wizards should have went for Bones, man. I don't understand why the Wizards didn't do shit.
They stayed pat.
The mid three. Let's keep the mid three and get that play in. Get that play in every year.
Mid-range mafia is what they call in Phoenix, which is hilarious because they all like mid-range monsters, though.
That's gonna be gross, man. That's gonna be gross, man. Phoenix has got to be shot up to the list of like top contenders, man. You put KD.
Mike Conley to the Timberwolves.
Love it for the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
They needed a real point. You know how I feel about D'Angelo Russell. I watched him in the playoffs last year, just fucking diarrhea everywhere. And I was just like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, what they needed wasn't a bucket, because they have a bucket. Anthony Edwards, Cat, they have buckets. They needed someone to keep them organized, run their sets, and to run good offense, and they just could not do that. McLaughlin, the backup, was running the offense better than Russell. That's why I was like, you see that Russell got ejecto-citoed out of fucking Minnesota for a reason. If he's that good, they ain't giving him to the Lakers for a discount, and the Lakers ain't taking this nigga back for whatever. D'Angelo Russell, this is good for him. He needed to get out of there, and great for Minnesota. Now they have a real point guard, a seasoned veteran who can get people the ball, distribute it, do what he needs to do. So that's gonna help them a lot. For an immature team, we got Rudy Gobert. I don't know what the fuck the Timberwolves are doing.
I don't know what that is. Two bigs. I don't know what that is. Other moves. Who else got moved? Oh, Sadiq Bey.
That trade is in jeopardy because Gary Payton failed his physical.
Spaghetti-O.
And then, LeBron broke the record, but, he lost to my OKC Thunder. You see my man Shea. My man Shea Gilgeous-Alexander last night had 44 points on 80% field goal percentage.
Nasty.
How the hell do you do that as a guard? 44 points on 80% shooting, like he's fucking Wilt Chamberlain or some shit. Like, are you dunking every fucking thing? Like, how did you go 13 for 16?
Well, in other news, my Knicks finally freed Cam Reddish for Josh Hart.
Yeah, Josh Hart's a good pickup for them. If Cam Reddish was never going to play
Reddish was a good player. Let's not even talk about that. Cam Reddish is that.
Potential.
I love Cam.
Lots of potential, man.
He just Thibodeau didn't want to. Let's get Tibbs out there.
Thibodeau, dog.
I hate him.
And I love defense. I love that he is a defensive coach, but I hate the fact that he's just like, I hate young players and I need all my players to play 45 minutes a game. It's like, then you'd be like, why are my players tired? These niggas.
Why are my players tired?
You have a 6-man rotation, bitch. Like, what are you doing?
You ruined. God, don't make me talk because you ruined Derrick Rose's career. I'll die on the hill saying he ruined Derrick Rose's career. But
why are you running in games in the regular season with a 7-man rotation? Why is everyone playing 38 plus minutes a game? You have a whole bench of niggas just sitting there, capable niggas just cold. Got young players that need developing minutes just sitting there in warm-ups. Obi Toppin ain't getting no minutes. Motherfucking Cam Reddish fell out the rotation. Isaiah Quickly getting skeleton minutes. And it's just like, bro, how are you? Your team is not good enough to be in a win now mode. So you better develop the future. Because, like, what? You think Julius Randle and motherfucking Brunson is going to run you a ring?
All right. I thought about it. Top 5, they're not in any order. Top 5 NBA head coaches that I hate. Scott Brooks.
Yeah, he ain't even. Is he coaching right now? Like, who's he coaching?
Exactly. Mike Budenholzer. I know. Just let it go. Doc Rivers.
I was waiting for that. I'm so over Doc Rivers, bro.
What coach were we just talking about? The one we were just talking about for the I forgot. Okay, so Scott Brooks, Mike Budenholzer, Doc Rivers, Tom Thibodeau, and a placeholder is Mike D'Antoni, but his system works sometimes.
Unless you need defense, and then
unless you need defense. Top 5, man. Like those I really hate those coaches. I really hate those coaches.
I will give some shout outs to, man. The Mike Dagnall, the coach for OKC. I was very off on him for the first. Like, he's a fantastic coach. Fantastic coach. Like, I'm like, okay, man, I love what you've done with this young team. Because I watched OKC and then I go watch Houston play. And I'd be like, holy shit. Like, Houston is a gutter fire of that, like, fucking. And I like Jalen Green and his talent too, but like they play basketball in all the wrong ways, like the selfishness, the no defense, they finally freed
Eric Gordon.
Thank God. That man
we got him.
In hell.
Clippers got him. Yeah. Clippers stacked up.
Yeah, thank God. Help that man. Save him. He's been in basketball hell. I saw
Lakers got Mo Bamba too.
Yeah, the Lakers did magician work at the fucking deadline. Beasley, Vanderbilt, Bamba, all of that. Those are all players that are going to see serious minutes for them. They are tonight. I'm watching the Lakers game right now. They're all in the game playing. Like, the Lakers flip Westbrook for a competent team.
And Patrick Beverly. Who's
get him the fuck out of there too,
right
useless bum. Beat Beverly, dog. And I like defensive players too, but like, Jesus, man. But like I said, we got, double figures from Russell, double figures from Rui, double figures from Vanderbilt already. Beasley scored off the bench. Like, like they have a real team. And they're beating Golden State right now. Yeah. Without LeBron.
Man, it's about time, man. Because I'm sorry, God bless for us, but it wasn't really working out.
It's a terrible fit, man. Terrible fit. And he's not what he used to be, man. Like,
let me ask you this. Where would you have seen this team going if this was prime Russ? Prime Russ and everything.
It still doesn't fit, man. Him and LeBron don't fit. And if LeBron's the most important piece of your team, it just doesn't fit. And I don't think Russ, I don't know, man. His brand of basketball, it's past. He can't shoot. He can't make free throws, bro. Like, this is a different game than when he was 2016, when Russ was, prime Russ, 2018, or, like all that. But like, this game is a shooter's game now, and like, can't shoot. You still can't shoot. That's still a problem.
All right. So, who was somebody you were surprised didn't make a move?
Wizards, man. Like the fucking Wizards. Like, they would do something, like, because they're stuck in that mediocre range. So it's like, at this point, have a fire sale and be bad, or push all your chips on the table and try to be good. They didn't do anything. They just sat in mediocrity. So the Wizards can be a 7-12 seed like they are every year and just get bounced out the first round or not make the playoffs. Like, I feel so bad. I love that I'm a Thunder fan, and 3 years into our rebuild, we probably have the best young core in all of basketball. I like what the Magic are doing with their John. Even the Pistons, there are some teams that are doing competent rebuilds that are like accumulating talent. Even though the Pistons are still kind of a fucking mess, they don't really know what they're doing. They're accumulating the young talent. You know what I'm saying?
Now, with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey,
they have like 1 million early first-round picks. They just got Wiseman, if that trade goes through.
Oh, yeah.
Bagley, Wiseman, Bagley, You got, what you say, Cunningham, Jaden
Jayden Ivey,
Killian
Jalen.
Hayes.
They still have Jalen Duren too.
Yeah, Jalen Duren just dropped 30 and 17 the other night. Like Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. Like there's bodies on the team. They're all young first round talents that have not had good starts to their careers, but it's too early to give up on them. You know what I'm saying? They got Kevin Knox. They got like a lot of young talented players that are just like need coaching and development and just need opportunity. So it's like, I don't hate that rebuild. I think the Magic have done phenomenal with their rebuild. You got Paolo, you got Bol in that junk. I love me some Bol.
Yeah.
You got Markelle Fultz is playing good ball right now. Wendell Carter. Like they've got Franz Wagner's a bucket. He's a hooper.
15 point guards. But Terrence Ross is seeking a buyout.
Yeah, they're buying him out.
He might be going to the Mavs.
The buyout market's going to be interesting. You should have Westbrook. You should have John Wall. You should have Terrence Ross. You should have some people that can help teams, I still want to see Westbrook back with the Wizards. I mean, not Westbrook. Well, maybe Westbrook or Wall. I prefer Wall, but like either one of them, I think could be an upgrade over Monty Morris for real. I'm just saying.
Damn.
Look, man, if the Wizards are going to be mediocre, they at least need to make Rose Bar great again.
I ain't going to hold you, bro. Like, for what it's worth, Monte Morris kept the lights on in Denver while Jamal Murray was out.
Yeah,
he was
fine.
playing.
He's a fine, serviceable player, but he's not a big-time starting point guard. Is what you need for a team that has the aspirations of Wizards. He's a good rotation guard. I think he'd be a fine backup. Monte Morris is a nice player.
Yeah,
good player.
Backup. Yeah.
Solid, steady, but like not what you need to take you to, I think, where they need to go. And Bradley Beal's not a good ball handler. Kuzma and all of them are forwards, and Porzingis, all your other better players. You need somebody with the ball in their hands that's elite, and I don't think they have that. I don't like the ball in Bradley Beal's hands too often because turnovers. Like,
yeah. All right, I guess that's everything for NBA, right? Is that every big trade that happened? Did we miss anything?
I don't know if we missed any big trades off the top.
Okay. All right, so let's shift gears. Because this is Channel Orange, we talk about basketball and then we talk about everything else. So I want to say the best TV show on television right now is based off of a video game, which is the certified top video game adaptation, just straight up ever. The Last of Us. Now, Jizzle, you have finished the game. I don't know if you finished, both games or both games and DLC, but it is based off the game. And I feel like people could digest this show even if they haven't played the video game, because it's just a good show. And I don't want to characterize it as a zombie show because it's way much deeper than that. Even when people try to compare it to The Walking Dead, I'm like, look, there are zombies, but they're pretty much tertiary to everything else that happens in the world, because you still have humans that's living through this apocalyptic future. And I feel like the show does that because it kind of balances out the writing, it balances out the action, it balances out the emotion, it balances out everything that becomes a bouquet, if you will, of just what a TV show is supposed to be like. And we just finished watching episode 5, and so far I grade every show as 100% so far. How do you feel?
Yeah, they're 5 for 5. They ain't missed yet. Mm-hmm. This is phenomenal TV. This is the adaptation that was a slam dunk. If you did it right, and they did it right, you get a high-level TV showrunner and Craig Mazin, Chernobyl, HBO, great craft, high-level TV. Then you get Druckmann himself, who, made the games, is the guy behind the games. You get them together. So you have that high-level TV mind mixed with the lore and the faithfulness to the games, and then you got yourself a recipe for success. But those things together, then you get 2 great actors to be Joel and Ellie. You get man Pedro, man, fucking saving all the babies out here. Grogu.
Yeah, he's dad of the decade. If there's an award for such a talent as his.
But this was you can't miss on this. Like The Last of Us is a masterpiece, and Last of Us 2, masterpiece video games that are so cinematic. All you have to do is nail the story, and they've done a great job of doing the balance, like you said before, a balance for the people who play the games, like me, and the people who haven't. Like they're doing things that leave people like me on my toes, like, oh, they're gonna switch something up here, or but also still keeping it very, very faithful to the tone and story of the game. So they're just striking that perfect balance of like pleasing everyone. And they even got away with like the gayest episode of TV of all time. It's phenomenal. Even people that I know are homophobic were just like, that was a touch of love story though.
You know,
I don't fuck with it.
People like that.
Yeah. I don't fuck with it, but it was a touch of love story, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the gay shit, but you know, I feel you.
Yeah,
you know
like you were saying, like even that episode should be enough. Like I feel like that could be a good episode that could get you into the show because that episode was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Although, you know, a lot of people kind of would shy away from that episode because, you know, for this or that reason. But that was just a really great episode to display what love really is. Like, what is love if I can live without you, basically? You know what I'm saying? And that's a good point. And that's a good, you know, that's a good premise. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like I said, the fact that the show could just do that. And, like, that's a big, big change up from the games. And you know, when you usually change up something like that, it gets people big mad. But it just wasn't a bad departure because it still accomplished everything that the games did, which is like you get your supplies, you get the car, you know, which is like the whole point of that. But it's just like it just was more fleshed out. And it, like instead of being just this tragic note that you find in the game, it becomes this whole beautiful hour love story. We got to see Ron Swanson just act his fucking ass off. And show acting range I didn't know this nigga had. Like he was just in this channel, and it was like I said, it was beautiful. Like I said, it's a beautiful love story, regardless of who is involved in it. You know, like you just have to see it and be like, this is beautiful moments of life. This is great TV. It's an hour of phenomenal TV.
So let's break down last night's episode. All right, so last night episode. What happened in last night episode?
They're adapting the Hunters part from the game where you go to. It was Pittsburgh in the games, but it's St. Louis in the show where basically they're trying to give more humanity to the Hunters because they're just hunting these niggas in the game, and you don't really find out why. It's just bad guys are hunting these black kids, and you're just like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but you know they flesh it out in the show, which is good at that adaptation to try to make the Hunters more relatable. And people are kind of mixed on that Kathleen character, but I think they did a lot in last night's episode to make her more tolerable. You know what I'm saying? Even though she was still supposed to be mustache twirly kind of evil, but it's more relatable because it's just like, okay. And it foreshadows the end of the game, which I'm not going to spoil for people who haven't really, you know, played the game, but like where she's just like, your little brother had cancer and you killed the leader of the, you know, you turned in the leader of our revolution for this little kid who had cancer. Like, hey, bro, he gonna die anyway. You know, we're in the apocalypse. Kids die every day, B. Like, you did a lot for this one kid.
Yeah, man, I understand the premise.
This is why the story's so beautiful. Like, it shows you, because if that's your brother, if that's your family, you're gonna be like, fuck that, I'm gonna do what I need to do. But like, her brother died. Is your brother more valuable than her brother? You know, so it's one of those things. Like my brother died for your brother. You snitched on, you know. So it does make the Hunters more believable, you know, relatable, because it's like, she's not wrong. Like you did, like this kid had cancer in a zombie apocalypse. How long he gonna last? And he's deaf. This deaf kid got cancer in a zombie apocalypse.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even on either shoes on either feet, that's kind of what both people would do anyway.
And that's why the show is so good.
Folks, if that was your folks, you would react.
You would do the same thing. And again, it foreshadows the end of the game where, you know, a terrible decision is made out of love. And the showrunner keeps saying that the show is about the cautionary tale of love, of how love can make you do terrible things and dangerous things. And it's all leading to that decision you make at the end of the first game. But it's just like, this is kind of a smaller version of that where Henry made that decision where it's like, I know this is bad for the community as a whole, but I just can't watch my brother die. I'll do whatever. I'll rat on whatever. I'll be a rat. I'll do whatever I need to do. He took down, when he was talking about the brother, you know, Kathleen's brother, seemed like he respected him a lot. He was like, this great man. I turned in this great man. And like, I did, you know, I'm a piece of shit because I did what because I just could not I just couldn't stomach let my brother just die, bro. Like they're only people that had the chemo meds. Like I needed that shit. And it's like, so you feel him, like, you know, as a hypocrite, like I would say all this shit, but if it was Olivia in that situation, hey, bro, like I'd be Henry.
You gotta do what you gotta do,
like
bro.
I'd be Henry. So like, or I'd be Kathleen. If something happened and someone else traded Olivia's life for their sibling, like, bro, I'd have an issue. I'd probably be the one like, yeah, you know, I know we got this problem, but I gotta kill this nigga first. And then we can go about the community. But so again, it shows leadership, what real leadership is and what it needs to be. Had she put aside those grudges and dealt with those, you know, shit underground, then she wouldn't have got murdered by a baby clicker.
Speaking of shit underground, now, I guess we all as a collective knew what was going to happen because they foreshadowed a sinkhole in the episode prior. So when I say, because we was watching it together, me and Jizzle was watching the episode together. And when I tell you the truck went in the sinkhole, I feel like I was like, oh no, I know it's down there. Oh no. And when I tell you, when them niggas came jumping out that joint, I was like, oh no. They on your ass.
It's like The Walking Dead, man. These are that slow fucking walk. Like,
these are fast zombies. They are fast.
Motherfucking Bloater ripped the nigga's head off, bro.
Bruh.
That nigga said, hey, bro, you shooting at me, bro? Let me just peel your muffin cap back blue, man. I don't need it. And took that man's head off like it was fucking a fucking light bulb screwing that shit out, man. Just don't need this.
And I guess at this point in the show, Ellie is like, she's lost all her innocence and kind of like not a child anymore, basically, right?
She shot a man last week. And
yeah. Oh well, yeah.
Like,
oh well, yeah. Too late for that.
Yeah, she literally killed a guy. I mean, she didn't finish the job, but she certainly killed that guy. Like that guy definitely died directly as a result of her. And I really like that scene too, because that guy realized that when he told Ellie to go behind the wall, that was it. Because he didn't want to be her to witness this man's murder. So I love the panic as soon as Ellie turns around, where he's like, no. And when as soon as Ellie turns around, that man's like, no, oh God. Because he knows,
man,
like,
there was people who like had a problem with that, like your arch nemesis. I'm not going to say who it is, but they was like, "Oh, you should have let him live." I'm like, "Bruh, he tried to kill us." No, you ain't.
Like 5 minutes ago, this man was trying to kill me.
No, I can't let him live because he might try to kill us again. Not in this universe. You can't.
They go back to what Joel, and they're going to touch on this next week because I saw in the preview where Tommy's like, "Hey, we murdered people." Like and they touch on it. Joel, she's like, "Did you ever kill innocent people?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's keep going." Because like Joel has done some shit. So it's like, this ain't the first person Joel's had to kill. He knows this. That's why it's just like, bro, he's like, Ellie. And you also realize you didn't hear a bullet either. Joel is efficient. That man picked up that man's knife that he tried to gift them for mercy. He's like, it's a good knife. And he's just like, hey, Ellie, go back behind the wall. And you hear that knife get plunged into that dude. So it's just like, you kill that man with his own knife to save a bullet. Joel is savage. Joel is like, he has done a lot in this time.
He's the guy. And I hear he's more brutal. He's more brutal in the game. So I really have to go finish the game. I need somebody to, hey, if somebody's listening to this and they have a PS4 copy of the last, I mean, you kind of only have PS4 because it's not on Xbox. Fuck Xbox. But if you have
PS5
that copy,
remaster, man.
Yeah, send that over. Matter of fact, I just downloaded myself. But yeah, it's an amazing show. We get nine episodes, right? 4 more.
Yeah, we're getting 9.
Yeah, man. But they already got renewed for season 2, so we already know what's going down.
Yeah, depending on how long the production. They said they might do 2 or 3 seasons, so it's just like I would prefer 3. Give me 3 good seasons. You can, maybe split The Last of Us 2 into maybe 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I love The Last of Us 2. Despite how controversial the game was, like I love it. I think it's a masterpiece.
Let me ask you this: by episode 5, where we are right now, where is this in the game? Like out, like plan wise?
Further than I thought we would get this far, honestly, because we get to Wyoming like later in the game. So it's like I didn't think we'd get to Wyoming, but it looks like we get to Wyoming next week. It's like I said, they're talking. He's reunited with Tommy, so there is some stuff you got to do with Tommy in the games up there, though. So. It looks like we're on pace to get through the first game.
Okay.
So I think we're going to get through the first game. Episode 9 should be one of the best episodes of television that's ever been produced.
All right.
And the epilogue should be the best epilogue that's ever been done because it's the best epilogue in video game history, in my opinion. The end of The Last of Us is just a wild masterpiece that leads into The Last of Us 2, the consequences from the things that are done at the end of this game. Because that's the feeling you get of dread at the end of the game, because you got to do some things. Like, I try not to spoil, but there's some things you got to do at the end of the game that are not good things. In the name of love, you gotta do some murder, and I just can't wait to see how they handle it in the show, because in the games it was handled so well. I know we're getting a flashback episode too, so that makes a lot of sense maybe too of why we're in Wyoming so fast. So I know we are going to get one episode for the DLC. We're going to get the Left Behind episode. I think it's episode 7, so that's probably the episode after the one we get, and then we'll get one more, and then we'll get the finale. So that makes sense. I think the pacing is on point.
Okay. All right. I'm excited for where this show concludes at. And a little sad. Funny that we talk about a zombie show, because we both fell off of The Walking Dead early on. I kind of fell off after, matter of fact, if I put a date on it, I probably fell off after Rick decided to keep Negan alive. I probably like, okay, that's it. I'm out of here.
I lasted a little longer than you, man. But I definitely fell off. I didn't even watch the series finale because it looked like it just set off more spinoffs. Like they're just doing more spinoffs, man.
So I watched the complete timeline after that, and boy, does this story fall off a cliff.
It does.
Jesus,
Mary. From the little stuff I've seen, like, because there's no characters that you're invested in,
Exactly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they just keep introducing people and blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. So that's how you not do TV. That's how you not do a zombie show.
Let's get great. You got greedy. They try to do a show that would last forever instead of like a show with a clear plot.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a new episode of Channel Orange. I'm your host, LK the God, the Leading Mogul. I'm here with Puffco Poppy, second in command of Fire Squad. As you can see, what are we puffing on today? And sipping on today?
San Fernando Peel, Evermore. I never even lit it up the first time, but
I got something left over here. I don't even know the name of it. Let me take a dab right quick. We take dabs on this show because he is Puffco Poppy, and I'm the dab deity myself, so yeah.
The doozy of a trade deadline we had here, man. It's a lot of hoops to talk about, man.
All right, so, right. FSOD, burn up.
FSOD.